Morning, guys. Staying here from Rocky Creek. Today, my man Mater is gonna get a new house. So we're gonna get everything we need to get that done, but we gotta get these animals fed first thing this morning first. So let's go, let's get it done. Let's get my man hooked up with a brand new crib. So guys, what's up? It's actually Friday. I got the day off of work. We got a couple things, like I said, we're gonna get done. We're gonna get that new shelter of Mater moved in, but we gotta get these old animals fed, especially these piglets. Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, Henry. I know it's a little later than normal, so y'all are extra worked up. Henry, what's up, brother? Chloe, say hi to everybody. Come on, let's get y'all fed. You gotta fake these guys out or they'll knock your food thing over. Hey, other one. Hey, right here. There you go. Olivia, stay at yours. Thank you. So on days I have to work, you know, I usually come out here about 5:30 in the morning and feed these guys, but on the weekends I try to get a little extra sleep, so when I have to wait till about 7:30, they get pretty worked up. Let's go get these chickens, check on Miss Broody Hen. I just use that little stick right there, it keeps the gate closed. Before we let all these guys out, you can see Miss Broody, she's still there. So according to my incubator, the incubation part, it's 7 days. We're down to the final week. She's probably gonna be right at the same or maybe a day or two longer, just because we had that little mix up with the egg situation and her getting in the wrong nesting box. Let's get these guys released. Morning. Morning. Come on, Q-tip. So if you see, we had that little problem with them laying all those eggs underneath the coop. So we have plenty of rock here on this property, as I've said. So I just kind of placed a bunch of rocks around for right now. Eventually, I'm just gonna take some wood. I'm just gonna screw some wood along the bottom there, keep them out. But right now, the rocks seem to be working just fine for temporary. Y'all want some more food? Q-tip, you ready for 4th of July? Huh? All right, girl, you hold the fort down. So I don't know if it's just in my head or if it's actually accurate, but it looks like to me, the broody hen, the longer she's been in that nesting box, I feel like the red, like skin color around her eyes and some of her comb is getting like a lot more pale. I'm guessing maybe that's just from lack of nutrients. Don't know if that's just me overthinking it or if it's something that is actually happening. Those of y'all, I know a lot of y'all commented about my broody hen. Sorry, there's a lot of dogs barking in the background. But those of y'all that have had the experience with broody hens, am I going crazy or is that really what I'm seeing? I'm not really worried about her because I know my wife and my daughter, they've seen her out pretty much each day for about 10-minute periods of time. Pretty much from what they said, she just gets out, eats a little food, drinks a little water, does a quick dust bathe, and then jumps right back in. But obviously, I don't think she's getting near as much nutrients as she normally would. So I'm not really that concerned. I'm just wondering if I'm really noticing what I'm noticing or if I was just going a little crazy. So let's go up here. Let's get Mater fed real quick and get the meat birds fed. And then we're gonna get working on a big task that I'm gonna hope I can do this all by myself, because I'm gonna tell you, that sucker was heavy when we got it here on the property. Chloe, you can go up see your buddy? You and Mater, y'all like super tight. Hey, get down off the fence. You're gonna hurt yourself. How you doing, Mater? There's your buddy, come and say hi. There you go, brother. Happy breakfast. Let's go check on these meat birds. Morning, y'all. So they are officially in their last week with us. Next weekend is official process date for all these guys. So we're getting to our tail end, and after we get done with them, that'll reduce our chore load pretty significantly. So I'm gonna get their feed and water out and we'll get them moved on some fresh grass. So pretty much all weekend, we're gonna have highs in the 90s with really high humidity, so it's gonna be super hot. So I'm gonna make sure I get all their water things. I really hadn't been filling up their nipple water and this other like cup style water because they really hadn't been needing it too bad. But this week is supposed to be super hot, very little rain, very little cloud cover. So I wanna make sure I give them every bit of water that we can. Last thing you'd wanna do is invest 12, 11 weeks now into these guys and just to turn around and lose them all there at the end. So I want to make sure we do everything we can to make sure they're plenty happy and healthy, and we'll get some good healthy meat in return. So get them all hydrated up real good. So I'm letting Mater's pool fill up right now. So I'm just gonna let that go for a little bit because I want to get it plenty full so he can stay nice and cool today. So obviously you can see I do got a new hat on, right? So a lot of people have been asking about hats, more here in the local area, some friends of mine and stuff saying like, man, I really want a hat. I want one of those hats. Well, I didn't have any more. And so I got with a company here locally that's awesome people. And I said, hey man, I want a summer hat. Let's do the same hat, different colors. So this right here is the old Rocky Creek Summer Edition right here. But anyways, I got a handful of those. With that being said, I'm not big. I'm not a big channel. I didn't do this per se, to be like a business or anything like that, or a big money maker type thing. And so I just buy these with my own money. I don't have some big setup. So, but I will be I did that giveaway last time of the one hat, but I will be doing a giveaway here in the very near future where I'll instead of giving away one hat, I'm gonna give away 2 hats, just to show my little appreciation for those of y'all that spend some time with us every day. So stay tuned. Hopefully here in the next video, I'll explain maybe how that's gonna work out, but I just got a whole lot of chores right now I gotta get done here in the next week or two that I really just can't plan for that right now. But stick with me and trust me, here very soon, we'll do a giveaway and we'll explain what we need to do in order to get your chance to win one of those 2 hats. So let's talk about this shelter though. It's not the most beautiful shelter. Like I said before, you need to keep an eye on Craigslist. I check Craigslist usually at least 1 to 2 times a day in the free section. And I don't know if y'all remember, but we got our piglet shelter for free on Craigslist. And I also found this big old thing for free on Craigslist. I actually can't claim that I found it. My buddy Chris, y'all saw him. He came over and helped me cut up the tree that day. He actually found it and sent it to me. And I got a hold of the people. But size and dimension wise, this thing is almost exact to what Mater's pen is. The only difference is this thing is pretty much enclosed. So this thing's built pretty rock solid. I'll put it this way. It took 4 of us to load this thing up on a trailer. And even then it was a task to get it on there. This thing is super heavy. I mean, you can see the guy built this thing. It's framed out with 2x4s. It's got every bit of, I'd say this is probably almost just shy of 1/2 inch plywood all the way around it, top and bottom. The roof has the same thickness of plywood. Most of the metal roofing is doubled up, so it's stiff as a board. The only spot that has any sort of damage to it is on this end right here where it wasn't screwed down very well. Move my arm so you can see. So I'm thinking we'll just pop 1 or 2 screws in there. I'm not worried about it being bent just a little bit, and then this end got chewed up a little bit. The amount of money just in the tin and the lumber, you'd probably be I guess maybe about $150, $200. I don't know by the time you put it all together. But this thing is rock solid. You know, I'm hoping maybe if I get him up off the ground, you know, it just reduces my chances of having any kind of a pest infestation. He's really healthy. He doesn't have any skin issues. So I don't see any bugs bothering him right now, but I don't want to wait till there is a problem to address it. So we found this thing for free, and so we're gonna get it swapped in. Now last night they weren't calling for any rain, so I went ahead and detached the roofing, and we're gonna save this roofing for a future project because it's in great shape still. And then I just basically turned these two sides horizontal just to give them a little bit of cover if somehow we had a pop-up rain last night. So, but I need to get it pulled off. I'm gonna take apart these walls, get that out of here. And then my plan is, this gate is not very big, and it's gonna be extremely tight getting this roof line through that gate. So my buddy had a good idea, and I think it's what we're gonna try, is that I'm gonna slide the house towards me. I'm gonna get it lined up right up against this panel. I've already pulled all the staples out of it except for like 2 or 3 on each post. Coonies don't challenge the fence, so I'm not worried about Mater pushing it out last night. I'm not worried about that at all. But I think these posts are wider. I'm thinking I'm gonna slide the panel out the way, push the building in, put the panel back. That's the plan. Might be a terrible plan, might go awful, but at least I got a plan. So I'm gonna grab what we need to get this thing going, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll go well. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, so I said we have a plan. Oh, if you notice, I had to change up my hat. Them other one's too nice. I can't get them dirty, so I'm gonna get the OG hat dirty. So first, I need to get these taken apart. I used some brackets with screws in them that held the corners together. So we're gonna get that taken apart, then we're gonna take these panels out. And then my thought process is that I'm gonna end up prying up the base of this. I'm gonna slide 3 of these. These are just old cut off pieces from Mater's fencing on the post for his. Slide them up underneath, and that'll create a roller. And I'm gonna roll this down the hill until it's in line with the gate opening. And then from here, I'm gonna pick it back up. I'm gonna turn, so they're gonna be this way, then I'm gonna turn them this way, and then I'm gonna push it. And hopefully I can get it to roll right into the pen to where I need to be. Fingers crossed we can get this thing moved on my own, and I won't have to bother some friends of mine and get them over here. Mater, you ready for a new house, man? What them ladies gonna think of your new place? You might go from bachelor pad to married man. You never know. No, you be bachelor forever. I got you, brother. think we've officially reached the point of no return. Got to make it work now. All right, so I think we're done with site prep. So as you see, we got the house all broken down. Panels are there. Now I do plan to reuse those panels. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work to them, but I'm gonna actually try to use those and create a compost setup down near the garden, because I've yet to really have a true compost. I've really just been piling it up and near a tree. So we are gonna repurpose it. They're not gonna go to waste. So got that cleared out as best we can. I have the leftover straw piled up right here. And what my plan is, he really doesn't usually do anything right here. He usually either hangs out in the pool area, in his house, or down on this end because it stays more shaded. So, but he always uses the bathroom on this end right here. So I actually got this idea from Jason at Sow the Land. He's raising pigs for his first time. You know, this isn't our first time raising pigs, but you always can learn stuff from people, even though, you know, you might have been doing it longer. Doesn't mean you're doing it the best way, or maybe there's a better way to improve it. So you always got to be open-minded. So with his pigs, he was using wood chips, and he was layering the wood chips where they would use the bathroom, and he would kind of keep just layering that, letting it break down, and eventually we'll create compost. Well, I don't have the wood chips, but I have this straw that still needs to break down. So I figured I'll just go ahead, as he uses the bathroom every so often, I'll just pull from that pile right there, and we'll just keep layering it on until we run out of the straw. Let's go ahead and try to get these wooden blocks up underneath this house and see if we can't move this thing. So wish me luck. So anytime I do this, and I've done this a couple times, the hardest thing is always getting the initial block started on each end. Because then after that, you know, you get a little bit of space, but when something's really heavy, it's getting your bar up underneath it initially. Now, if this was soft ground with a digging bar, or like this is just a heavy duty T-post, whatever you can get under there, usually you can chew away at the ground and get it underneath. Well, especially up here at this pen, it's nothing but rock. So trying to get up underneath it sometimes is extremely difficult. So we'll try. If not, sometimes I've had to just kind of brute force it up just enough to where I can try to slide just the tip of it in and then try to get it up that way. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm telling you, that thing is heavy. I'm by far not at all somebody you want to model your way of doing it after. However, we're gonna get it done one way or another. One thing is, I get pretty determined to get something done. I don't like to quit on it until I absolutely have to. So you can see, I got this one on underneath here right now. I'm gonna go ahead and go around to the other front. We'll slide that one under. Then we'll work on the back side on both of them. And then really, you need 6 of these things to make this work, because then how the idea is that we'll get one right there. We'll actually put it kind of more towards just the other side of the middle, with the third one just in front of the building. And the idea is that as I push it, it'll go on top of the one that's down over there. While this one becomes free, it'll be still supported by 4 rollers. And then I just switch this one to the front, and I just keep rotating sorry, the front one and the back one till I get it to where I need to be. All right, so you can see I actually got 3 already down here, and then I got 1 right here, and the same thing on the other side, except for I got 2 here and 1 here. This thing actually rolls really freely. Hopefully I don't lose my things on here, but like I can just push this thing. You can see how it's teetering, and that thing normally wouldn't budge. And it is a little bit back heavy because it has that solid piece on the back and it's a little bit higher. So I'm a little worried that once I get it started going, it might kind of just keep rolling and eventually dig into the ground. That's gonna make it difficult. And then my only other concern also is that going into the pen, it starts to go back uphill. And then I also got, you can see all this rock here to battle with too. And it's just a matter of, I'm worried I might get hung up and I go to give it a good hard push to get over the hump, and it's gonna like really take off and I'm gonna get in bad spot, because if somehow I overshoot where I'm going, it really starts to drop off, and then I'm gonna have a heck of a time getting that thing back up the hill. But hey, here goes nothing. Let's see how this plays out and we'll go from there. I don't know how much y'all can really tell how it's going. The hardest thing is I can't see both sides, and you get this big thump or hang up on a rock and I have no idea what's going on, so I have to keep doing little by little. But on a good note, I've got it as far back as I need it to go. So now what I need to do is I need to transition these logs now to the front side and the back side so I can push it that way into it. I tell you what, man, I'm sweating everywhere that the good Lord put on me. So let's get to work and let's try to get this done before it gets even more hot. So I think instead of taking this panel just completely off, it's not connected to what's on this gate. That's a separate piece cut. So I think I'm just gonna undo, and then I'm gonna slide it towards the other end, and hopefully that'll give me enough clearance and he'll think that there's still a fence there. So we'll see if we got enough room. If not, we'll go to plan B. Thank goodness coonies love eating grass. At least I could grab that real quick, throw it in his bowl. Hopefully that'll occupy him long enough for us to do what we need to do. All right, so I tacked the fence back on with only 2 staples. Now, there is something I didn't think about. I rolled it in here. That part went actually pretty well. Yeah, it's tiring, but it went well. But I'm gonna be able to get these 2 out pretty easy because I have all this area to access. But I didn't think about how I'm gonna get them out from this backside. So I gotta brainstorm on that for a second. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to somehow rig it up to where I can pull the building away from the fence, get them out, and then shift it back. Try to come up with a plan on that. Are you enjoying your full time? And you rest up. 4th of July is tomorrow. Make sure you got that good tan for the ladies when they come over to see the fireworks. All right, brother. We're gonna go ahead in the video. We're gonna tell everybody bye so you can rest up. Since you got poolside resort at your new house. See you, brother. There it is. I got my man's mater pin in here. 1 man. Probably should have been 3 man. But 1 man got it done. It took me a while, a lot of sweat, a lot of grunting and groaning and heavy breathing because I'm not in the best of shape anymore, but we got it there, man, because my man Mater, he deserves the best. He's the best pig there is. So anyways, all I'm gonna do now, guys, is I'm just gonna load that sucker down with hay, get it all cleaned out for him, throw some DE in there, you know, just the normal stuff, and then clean up around here. And I had planned to do some other stuff today, but I'm not gonna lie. That right there, it took it out of me. So anyways, I hope that helps you out. Maybe gives you an idea how you might be able to move something bigger if you're by yourself. I know a lot of you that comment on homesteading, you know, you are like a single person or a single parent home, and sometimes you might need to do stuff yourself. And at the end of the day, you know, you got to work smarter, not harder. Yeah, it is hard work, but if I didn't have those rollers to try to work it out, then it wouldn't work out. And it just goes to show too is, you know, not everything is trash. Those were cut off ends from this pin when I built it. I saved them. And sure enough, now I've used them twice to move a big structure like that. So guys, I hope this helped you out. I appreciate you hanging out with us today. You know, I hope y'all have a wonderful 4th of July. And until then, y'all be good. And we'll see you here real soon on the next video. See y'all.